What's up, you guys? My name is Prudence, and welcome back to my channel. So, today I'm going to be speaking a little bit about what I do and what I did so that you can sort of have like an idea of where I'm coming from and some of the challenges that I have faced in my career so far. So I started working, wow, a few years back. I'm not going to disclose. I probably can't remember when it was, but I started my career as a teller. I was working with one of the big four banks. I worked as a teller for about a year and a half, and then I decided to leave and I joined the card division where I worked as a fraud clerk. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed it so much because it had a lot to do with being analytical, and I felt like that is one of the strengths or my strength. So I really enjoyed that. So after that, I joined one of the big private banks. Um, so I worked there as a fraud analyst. While I was working there, I worked there for about 2 years, and while I was working there, I actually completed my diploma with UJ, and I got a diploma in criminal justice and forensic investigation. So you see, guys, your girl, beauty and brains. On a serious note, though, while I was working there, I think that is hands down one of the time where I was at my lowest. I was not happy. I was miserable half the time. And when I tell you that corporate, or when people tell you that corporate can be really hard and tough on a woman of color, I believe them. I went through that and it was not nice. So, because of all the challenges and, that it took its toll on me mentally and emotionally and physically as well. Um, and I decided, you know what, it's not worth it anymore. So I decided to resign. I remember having a conversation with a good friend of mine, Portia, and I really thought, she was going to be like, no, you can't do that, because we value job security more than anything. But I guess because she had been there throughout the struggles that I'd had within the corporate space, she really understood the frustrations and where I was coming from. And she was very supportive. And I resigned and I decided to go back home. And that was the time I really spent time with God, and I was like, but God, what is my purpose? Why am I here? There has to be a bigger plan, there has to be a reason why I'm here, and I'm ready for you to reveal that to me. But I'll tell you this was one of those times. It was one of the it was a silent season, guys. As much as I was praying, but it was not to be at that time, because God always has his time. It was one of the most difficult, trying, and character building times, I'll say, in my time. It was not easy though, but I'm grateful I went through that time because I learned so much about myself and the people around me. And during that time, I remember myself going to one of the private hospitals and wanting to start training with them as a nurse. And like I said, it was not the time. And eventually, when it was my turn or it was my time, um, a friend of mine, Lebu, told me that Free State School of Nursing was actually taking applications. And I remember I went there one time, I applied, they called me in to go write an aptitude test. I went, I wrote, and I passed. And in 2015, in January, I started my journey to become a nurse. It's been an incredible journey to be on. It's been frustrating, it's been informative, it's been educational, it's been everything and anything you can think of. Um, you might ask why nursing. I think nursing chose me, and I feel like because of the person that I am, I'm a very caring, I'm a very nurturing person, and I feel like it sort of complements the person that I am. And throughout, I sort of found myself, I found that actually I enjoy this. I like being somebody who can help people. I enjoy being somebody who can, who likes taking care of other people. So it's been a very interesting journey of self knowledge, and yeah, would I recommend anybody to go into nursing? For sure, if you are somebody who loves people, you are somebody who loves talking, somebody who likes learning, who is curious, by all means. But if you really don't like dealing with people, I think you give it a miss, you know.